Good morning, students. Today we'll be looking at mail merge as our topic. Now, mail merge is a useful tool that allows us to produce multiple information mediums. So these can be letters, labels, envelopes, and so forth, using information that could be possibly stored in a database in Microsoft Word or even in a spreadsheet, Microsoft Excel. Okay, now when performing mail merge, we would need a document, which is going to be our main document, as well as a data source. So this can be also a Word document, or it can be an Excel source, in this case a spreadsheet, or it could also be a database source. All right, but for today's lesson, I'm only showing you how to utilize the Excel data source. All right. So as you can see to my right, I have a letter, just a standardized letter, all right? And I want to plug in all these recipients, all these users that I want to mail off to. As you can see, you have a first name, last name, their title, gender, age, address 1 and address 2, and that's about it. This is about 20 recipients right here. All right. So please note, I'm not going to use all the data here. So I'm not going to use gender and age. I'll be mostly using first name, last name, title, address 1 and address 2. All right. So here we go. So you see my data source here for my Excel, and I'm going into my Word document. So normally we will go into our ribbon tabs here, and you will notice the ribbon tab between references and review, there's mailings. All right, now once I click on mailings in the ribbon, you should see start mail merge. When you click on the down arrow, you're just going to select letters because this is what we're using, a letter. We're making a copy of letter. All right, so that's the first thing we do. Then we're going to select recipients. I'm going to have to close this because I have to utilize this data source right here. All right, so I'm just going to close that. Let's open this up. So I'm going to select recipients. Now, as I said, you can type it in Microsoft Word, your list, but in this case, I'm not going to type a new list. I'm going to use an existing list. All right, so I'm going to click on use existing list. All right, this is normally what you see open up first, but I'm going to have to search for my list. So I'm going to find my file. I had saved it on the desktop. I'm going to select the data source right here. I'll open it up. Now my data source is located on sheet 1. That's where you saw the data. So I'm going to select sheet 1 since it's automatically there and click OK. Next, you will notice that in the ribbon, these options have now been turned on. You can access them. And now I'm going to go to my document and I'm going to insert certain fields. So when I click here in the insert merge field, I'm going to put in my title, space, my first name, space, my last name. In the next section, next line, I'm going to enter my address 1, and then I'm also going to enter my address 2, and I'm going to hit enter afterwards to create another space, and then I'm going to put after the dear person's title, space, and their last name, and then a comma. All right, now you're probably wondering, how comes we're not actually seeing the actual names? What we're using is basically the headings. The headings are acting like variables where we can store each name into the document. So when we see the title, we're going to see, let me show you the preview results. we would see, okay, Sir Jane Robinson for the first person. If I go to the next person, we're going to see Sir Tyrone Lewis and their address and which parish and so forth. So we can see that in the preview. All right. We can even go down to the last person, which is the 20th person. And as you can see, it's the same thing. So basically, when I take off the preview, these headings are acting like variables, what we can store into them. Okay. So what you just saw, when I click on preview, you see Madame for the title being represented right here. Okay. And if you want to bold it, you can bold it as well. It's the same effect. It still remains the same. All right. So let's check if our document is okay. Now, if everything's okay, then we can do a merge now. So I'm going to click right here, which says finish and merge. Now we can print the documents if we're using a printer, but normally this is what we want to do. Click on edit individual documents. And since I have 20 names, I can say, okay, I can want all 20 documents coming out, or I can choose about 5 documents. But for the time being, I'm going to show you how to do all documents. Now, when I click OK, Microsoft Word is going to generate a new document with all the letters in them. So I'm going to click OK. As you can see, I have a new letters right here. Let me just show you in the next one. Okay, so this is the main letter that I showed you. Okay, so I'm just going to do that, open that up. So you can see a side-by-side comparison. Okay, so you can see right here. Okay, zoom in a bit. Here's the title. All right, first person was Sir Jaden Robinson. So you see the title, the first name, the last name. Next line, you see the first address. Second line, you're going to see the second address. And you can see the same thing right here after the dear, the title and the last name, same right here, dear Sir Robertson. Now, if I scroll down, you can see on the next page is the second person. So it's the same letter here, but you'll notice the only thing that has changed is the insertion of the merge fields. So the title, first name, last name, address 1, address 2, same thing right here, title and last name. Go to the third page, you see it has changed. The person's name has changed, the address has changed. And you go on and on. You will notice that down here I see page 1 of 20. I only had 20 entries. So if I come down to the last entry, you can see all of my letters have been done one time. This will save you time again rather than just, okay, I'm going to copy this, paste it in a new document, and then I'm going to enter the name, the addresses, and so forth. All right.